Alafia, kings and queens.
Alafia.
Gods and goddesses. Welcome back to the Afro Trini view.
Welcome back. Good to have all you back. Good to be back here again. Me and my brother alone today because we wanted to talk about some of the things that we the shoo about, like bring it forward. You know, we on Gael and some of the earlier episodes where we touched on these things. We don't want to touch on these topics today. Why we shouldn't be shoo-shooing about them.
And today's a big episode too because last week
was 10. Yeah, boy. 10 on Gael already.
10 on the Gael, you know. So thanks everybody for the support. Remember to like, follow, share, subscribe to the YouTube page. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well. So, I'm going to see the list here. Right, so some of the topics we want to discuss today is things that have become, for lack of a better word, taboo.
In
our community, right? You know, we all grew up different ways. Some of us came from single parent homes. Some of us grew up with granny, auntie, brother, that kind of thing, right? And as things progress, you kind of realize that now we've become more of a, when you look at the way the families are, because on my street is about between 5th and 4th Avenue. I would say it's about 20 properties, give or take. And, you know, when Christmas time come around and you don't really see nobody now, but everybody in the caboose,
like long time,
you know, like long time, you come out, you go by the neighbor, you wish them Merry Christmas thing, you come back, you know, and then when all you done open all your toys, all you outside in the yard playing together and them kind of things, you know. And I keep looking at this situation and I keep telling myself where we went wrong by, you know, where the ball dropped, how it reached here. And when I sit down and I really internalize it, I think I realize that the problem is really what we're watching. You know, we've seen it on TV. That's how they operate. You know, the families stay in one place and everybody in their own little space. This cartoon talk about it real good. Crudes.
Right.
Yes, the second Crudes, where they was pushing independence and the old Crudes, them are accustomed to living in the wild.
Yeah.
But them just live together and everybody sleeping together in a ball and whatever, right? But when they meet up the better mans or the better men, they were pushing independence. So the daughter had her own room, the mother operated in her own space, the father he had his own man cave. So, you know, so it really wasn't no togetherness now. And I find like that is where we're reaching now. You know, and it's a disturbing thing. So, you know, I think I want us to talk about how we could go back to these things.
But you say something there and it playing out in my head. We watching now. Because if you sit down and you only watch mainstream news, you might never come out your house now.
True.
That's just the reality. If you only sit down and watch the news alone. Remember years ago we used to do Tenterview. And we had a local rapper by the name of Saint Anzon. And he have a song called Editor-in-Chief. And a line from that song is, if you still allow the news to decide your point of views, is an idiot. And that is the reality today now.
Yeah.
So we're not saying that they don't have bad and negative things going on outside there, you know. But we allow the news and the fast pace of life, the speed of life change.
Yeah, significantly.
Right? But we allow it to control we and dictate we. And that's keeping we inside because plenty of people reason for not having the children outside is
it's unsafe.
You see what's going on there, it's not safe, everything now. But I saying, as you know, say Christmas where I grew up in Sawa. Christmas Day, as you're old enough, a certain time in the morning, you have to wake up, you eat breakfast, thing. If you have gifts, you look for gifts. You're looking to be out to go online with your friends and them. And not the type of line we have now where the children is not children today. The children are too big. Right? You use 14 and 15 and 13, but you want to do 18 and 20-year-old thing. Nah. That line was to go. I go down by my partner Snags. And then we walk back up the hill and go by Adrian. And we meet up and we liming and talking. Might have a little cake eating thing. And we come back down to play basketball whole day. And it's that kind of thing. Now, we ain't doing nothing detrimental. You know? I don't even see that going on, as I say. I don't even see that happening today now. And
It's a cause for concern. For me simply, and I'll tell you why. Situation take place the other day on my street again, and one of the elders on the street made a statement, because since I moved there, I had 3 children, right? And he never knew my family was so big, right? And he only lived in 3 houses away from me.
wow.
Always passing in front by me and that kind of thing. But anyhow, that's the situation where the car had a big accident on the street. When it hit, it sounded like a truck. That's how loud it was. But that was the first time the whole street came out at any given time. You know, and I come out with my 3 children because it's the little one, baby here in hand, my daughter and my son walking and whatever, and everybody's like, wait now, you have a baby? You know? So, and then he come and he's like, it's so nice to finally meet your wife now. And that shake my cage, boy, because I saying, my daughter is 13. We moved back to her when she was 13. When she was born, sorry. You know, like 1 month after she was born. She born August, we moved back to her in September. So she was literally a month old. You know, and it was kind of, it really is a cause of concern for me, because the way I see it is like, things will happen on the street and nobody's know. Right? Now, I have cameras. My house is like a fort. Right? Because I'm not playing that game. I am a family to see about. I'm a dogs to come in my place. Right? But ultimately, I'm saying that my next door neighbor, things may be happening there and we don't know. And over the road, I keep an eye out for Miss Frank. She's a senior, well, I don't call her senior citizen because she's plenty older than me. Right? But she's also a pastor and that kind of thing. And when her son migrated, I promised him that I would look after her and that kind of thing. Right?
That's how we used to live.
That's how we used to live. So, you know, the other day, I sit down in the shop and I see a man walking, but I find he lingering. When I catch myself, the man reach over the woman yard, over she fence, and pick up a big vase with a cactus and go in with it. I said, but you going mad out. So I run outside. My partner was in the shop too. He had only keep everything too. Both of we run outside because we saying, but what kind of madness is this? But I talking about 1 o'clock in the day. The street dead. Nobody outside. Yeah. But because I doing business, I find my yard always people in and out and that kind of thing. So I go on outside. I say, uncle, and the man is an old man dread. I say, uncle, what you doing, boy? Yeah, I'm not, the lady did tell me to come and pick up this plant and whatever. I say, which lady? Yeah, I'm the lady. I say, which lady? She not even home. What you doing? Thing when I check myself now is because Miss Frank inside sleeping. Right? So I tell him, I say, big man, put back that plant for me, please. I say, because we don't want to damage you here today. Right? And nobody saw. Nobody knew. And it just kind of, I don't know if it's a fear that we have now that we don't want to talk to one another, or we don't want to get to know one another. Or
it went on so long.
Yeah.
We didn't even realize when it started, but it went on so long, we get distant. Because we were early 40s. I was 42 years or 40.
40, yeah.
But when we grew up, I couldn't pass in front by your mother and then say good morning.
Madness.
You understand? Because your mother bracing me and she telling my mother. You know?
And you might get a clout.
It might. It's very highly likely. We don't understand how important that is.
Yeah.
But it fade out now. It fade out so much that I will be going in a transport. I teach my daughter, no matter what, say good day. And she'll ask, but Daddy, how come nobody answer? And then when you start to hear people, because it gets so normal to not respond, to not interact now. You know, till it's a boss. Now me don't did nobody there. How that would be a boss?
Yeah, that could never be a boss.
Because that's we you talking about there. I remember living in El Dorado in an apartment, 4-apartment building. And somebody break in by me. In
your apartment?
Yeah. Strange enough, they didn't take nothing. I come out, my door skin open, and I could tell from the top it's somebody pulling. So I come out, the lady next door to me, telling me, I come and I tell everybody. She telling me somebody breaking my sheet about 3 weeks before that.
And all are living in the same building?
I say, you tell her. No, she's a single parent living with 3 children inside of the. I say, there's something you're supposed to broadcast on there.
A single female.
A single female, right? She feel the person was coming in more than once. I said, and you ain't say nothing? You ain't gonna say nothing? Well, you know, people doesn't really talk. And all them time that hit me, this over 10 years ago, talking about, we had to move away from that. We had to get back into conversing with we neighbors. You know, we have to get back into that. Nothing wrong with that. And then we live in this stupid mentality of being nice is a bad thing. What? All of them things feeding into we not having no sense of togetherness.
Correct.
Because that is all it is, you know.
Yeah.
A good morning, a good evening. You see, hey, Kerron, what's going on, boy? No longer I ain't see about thing. We had to get back into that. Otherwise, it will continue to get worse.
Yeah.
We can't live as strangers. Imagine we live in 3 houses away and you don't know me.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the topics is help and assistance, and it kind of tie back into that because right now, we just talking about that this morning, people going through turmoil.
Yeah.
And nobody knows because we are afraid to ask for help.
We are afraid to ask for help. We are afraid to the ridicule that we might get. You know? Yeah, people confide in me and I, like, yo, I kind of in the same position, you know. But if somebody, there's my mental, if somebody confide in me, I mean, they feel I could help them. Help could be a listening ear.
Yeah.
Help could be I put you on to somebody who could give you what you're looking for. It's a different ways now. So that's why sometimes I listen to the politicians who would just go up on our pulpit. Since we in this so-called pandemic, no, they lose salary, or they lose $1 salary. $1 only a base income. I don't know whatever it is always do. Because to me, if you offer yourself up especially as a MP, you shouldn't have no other job. That's just my take on it.
I agree.
So that you could focus fully
on the community.
On the community that you
to.
Put yourself up to represent. I always tell people this is not a forced thing. You have to go through a process to become a representative. And I find that should be the only job. But I just listen to them and it's be like they're talking down to the citizenry. I don't hear no empathy from them. All these people that lost the job or lost plenty of the earning ability, you know, the online schooling. That online schooling is difficult.
It is.
Because somebody have to be there with the child, whereas I could make it where I put you in school and then I have you in a lessons or something till I finish work. What going on now? When I still have to go to work and that child still have to go to school, I know people personally say, well, at least one child had to give up school to see about the rest.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's a serious sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's a dread sacrifice.
And we don't get no empathy from the people talking down to you. So listen, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and all they're breaking this, but that is not the be all and end all. Now, when you focus solely trying to follow these things or the thing, all of that is make you in no time to reason out with the people and them are wrong here. You know?
But they're not taking any time.
I remember
it's only election time, you don't see that?
Working. I leaving home 6 o'clock, about 5:30, 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work. When I finish work, I go in classes. I was doing a degree. And work finishing 4. Classes 5 to 8. I reach home after 8 in the night, sometimes after 9 in the night. All them things just take away from. Because you're so caught up in life. I don't want to stand up and talk to no neighbor after outside since, you know?
Yeah, and
it might, and that response to you might be like, well, I'm telling but it's not that, he's a tired boy. And sometimes we need him studying what these people going through, what they're doing now.
Yeah, there's no empathy on no level.
That simple thing I say there about Christmas, that's something we could do in communities.
Yeah.
Start to talk to one another from now. Hey, I know during the year I'm thinking busy, but you know, Christmas we might be off for 1 or 2 days. Then we come out and have a little meet and greet. Christmas Day, Christmas morning, about 11 o'clock after you done make your breakfast and prepare up and thing, you know. And then meet and greet, talk how you're going, go out how the year was, you know, and that simple thing might help.
Yeah. Yeah. But these topics is always get me kind of, I don't want to say heavy, but because I feel like we make it more difficult than it is. Right? I mean, I come from a place where, like, I look at my mother. My mother is a prime example. There's a lady from church who was not well and whatever. And I look at, no, my mother ain't no well-to-do, to say where she well off and whatever. But my mother pick up herself and used to go move and see about this woman almost daily. She have a daughter in the States. I think she have a son here. I can't remember. But mommy making groceries for the woman, going by Ramesh and whoever picking up groceries for the woman and she going up there. I never meet the woman. Right? But when I look at that, that is an example for me. Right? Now, same situation that a older gentleman on my street, he died now, Pinto. And I used to line with him, right? And coming down to the end. Now, I remember I'm not from Barataria. I'm from Laventille. So when I came to Barataria, I remember I knew. So I treated everybody new. Me care about what you used to do and who you was and where you do and all them things. Me interested in that. But the fact of the matter was, in his younger days, he really was not the man of the street now, boy, and everybody didn't like him for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, he was old and sickly and things. So I started to help up the brother and thing, and it started hurt me, boy. I saying, dog, what's going on with this man, boy? Nobody coming and help the man, dread. So it's me, I on the same side with him, and then Mr. Bob over the road. He used to help him too. So he would run in the shop, buy a little ensure thing. He used to smoke too, so he go buy a little cigarette and thing for him. When the pension check come, he go give me check and thing. He used to look out for the mail lady to collect the check for him so that he'd want to come outside in the mailbox and thing. You know, and I saw that and I said, boy, the feeling that you get from doing that, I mean, sometimes it used to feel like a burden because I work in sometimes and he would call me in the middle of what I'm doing and ask me, boy, hey, I need so and so, so and so. You could think, I say, well, give me half an hour, I'll organize it. And I had to scratch out, go get it and come back for him. You know, and I just look at the way how, okay, he was who he was. But at the end of the day, he's now old and he can't do anything, you know. And I just feel like the forgiveness wasn't there.
Right, but we also have to use that as a major lesson because I had one of them as well.
Right.
Right. Mr. Shepherd. He teach me a lot. He was I call him a local historian because some of the things he tell me I was able to collaborate. But the same thing, elderly man, I was living in Eldorado, walking up the road every day, talking to a lot of the people going up the road. They seem to be shocked because of the time we're living in, you know, they not expect people, young person to, you know, hey, you go there, how you going, anything. So it started becoming, and I realized he's seeing, I talking to the other people and them, so, you know, and the same thing, he'll call me, Andre, you can bring a bread and a coke here, right? This man was addicted to cokes. Bring a bread and a Coca-Cola for me when you come up to that, please. And I had watched that. You see him shuffling to move, and nobody there. And then watching this man cleaning the yard and thing, and it was a lesson to me on the way you live.
Yeah,
will impact your elder age now.
Yeah. And
how people will be around you. Right? Because he said you had a son who was supposed to name Andre as well. Met the guy once, but he never really used to come. You know? So it's a lesson as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lesson to realize, hey, how we interact with people now.
And your youth.
Would determine.
And
all that is part of one of the reasons, no, because sometimes you can't vex with people the way a neighbor or somebody in the community act. Can't vex with them if they want to.
I mean, when I hear these stories too, I was like, nah, boy.
Because I remember where I really grew up, up the hill in Sawa. We had a neighbor named Mr. Douglas. I grew up next to a basketball court. I want to explain all the ways next to the court. I mean, 5 or 6 footsteps and I in the court. And at the point in time, that was the most popular basketball court in Sawa.
Stick up in.
Yeah, we coming back.
We coming back, right?
Watch me.